Alright everyone, welcome to my video. I'm going to be doing a Star Wars breakdown, and I wasn't the biggest Star Wars fan before this movie, and now I'm the biggest Star Wars fan that you can meet. I want to talk about that. So before we get into the breakdown, I had like 10, 12 pages of notes for this video. So I'm just going to put it down to like 5. We'll go quickly over some things I wanted to talk about and why I love this movie and why it turned me into the big Star Wars fan that I am now. But before we do that, we have to set our minds straight and get right. And by that, we indulge. You got to indulge. Wow. Wow. All right. Find your Santa, Luke. Find... Doggy! Alright guys, so I'm officially high, and we're gonna get into the breakdown. Alright, but before we get into the breakdown, let's take a sip of our monster. Alright guys, so I'm gonna give you a breakdown of this movie without giving you any spoilers. Because there's so much to this movie, and there's so much that I liked about it. And there's so much to like about it, and there's so little to hate, even though I've read so much that people don't like this movie. The weird thing is that the people that didn't like it, I actually agree with them. I just don't care. It starts off with a great fight with Poe. Poe doing some comedy in the beginning. It sets off a comedy tone to the movie, which I really liked. Which is what Thor Ragnarok was like. It had a lot of comedy, and it was a great adventure. And this movie has some good comedy, and it was a great adventure. Now, the whole first fight, it starts off with fighting, and the first fight is just like one of the best Star Wars fights I've ever seen. There was one gripe I've ever had with the Star Wars films, and that's like the fighting didn't seem like it made sense. The sword fighting, the lightsaber fighting was always just bullshit to me. I never felt like they actually were fighting. You know, people fighting like this, like, stop it there, here, attack you. When I've watched every Star Wars film, I'm always like, oh, he's leaving his back open. Oh, his right side is not guarded, just hit that. Like, why are you stalling on that attack? You totally had his left side open. You know, so this is what I'm watching, because I know sword fighting. And it seems like they actually thought about what side of their body was exposed and where to attack when it is exposed and how they're going to block it. They actually thought about this stuff. And I really appreciated it. Thank you. So not only was the fighting good, but the comedy worked well for me. People said it was maybe too much, but if you look at Thor Ragnarok, you could say the same thing. But at the same time, I don't mind laughing to some good humor that I wasn't expecting. Poe literally trolls these guys in the beginning, and I loved every bit of it because it's kind of like the only option you have if you're in his position. He has to stall them. So what does he do to stall them? You'll see. All right, you'll see what he says and how it all goes down. It was great. Princess Leia in this movie, General Leia, she was great. I loved everything. The music in this movie was beyond elegant. It was beyond just epic. I was not a fan of Star Wars up until this point. The Force Awakens kind of had me going, but I still felt like it was the old movies, and I didn't like it for that reason. I just felt like I was watching a new generation do the same shit.
Hey kitty, I really like the Star Wars movies too. I thought the favorite part is when Chewbacca kicks the door down to Luke.
We all like that part too. The reuniting in this movie was really good. Oh, I'm trying to put you down. Let go of that. So yeah, the reuniting in this movie was really well done, and then there's a really beautiful scene. Now, are you gonna shut up? You wanna shut up? You wanna shut your mouth? Shut the mouth, all right? So where was I? Oh yeah, the reuniting in this movie was great. You had one with Chewie and Luke, which is an amazing scene, and Luke asked about Han. I mean, that's such a spoiler. I can't say this stuff. God, there's so much I want to talk about, but I'm going to make another video after this that's just going to be spoilers. I just want to give this video out to people that aren't the biggest Star Wars fans, that are on the edge of whether or not they should see this movie. For number 8, this movie was fantastic. It was a great new direction. It was really ballsy of the director, and I really liked how this movie doesn't care about any theory that you had. Alright? This isn't your theory time. This isn't the time to make the movie about you being right. All right, this was a movie about every theory that you could possibly had isn't the right one, and I really liked how it did that. I thought this was finally the Star Wars film that I had been waiting for. I knew Star Wars had this ability the whole time to be something completely epic, and it wasn't epic in my mind. It was a great idea, executed pretty well, but I didn't like how it was aimed at 14-year-olds, and it seemed like it wanted to sell products more than it wanted to give us some actual great character development. But there were so many human emotions throughout this movie, and everyone I related to. All the kind of main characters throughout this movie, I related to emotionally in some way, and I could put myself in their shoes going, I see myself doing that. I see myself reacting like that. I see myself doing what Poe just did. This finally was a Star Wars movie that was in galaxy far, far away, but was so human. Acting was so good. There's so many times I teared up, and there were so many times where I was cheering, and then there was times where I was grasping my air. I was just gasping. I was taking these deep breaths. Oh my gosh, I was hitting the person next to me like, did you see that? To me, this one outshined every other Star Wars movie. Because the reason why I feel this way is because I'm not a Star Wars fan to begin with. Now I am. Now I'm a Star Wars fan. And it seems like people were disappointed in these movies because they weren't what they expected. It wasn't what they thought they should have been. And I'm sorry. But if it had been the same shit again, I was going to throw up in the fucking theater. But this finally had Mark Hamill because I know he's a good actor. I love him as the Joker's voice. So finally see Mark Hamill act and then actually take over the movie with it. Everyone was out acting, even Kylo Ren. He was out acting the shit out of everyone. But now that I'm a Star Wars fan, guys, I'm going to start theorizing and the things that I want to see happen in 9. Because now I'm a Star Wars fan, and I think it would be really silly if I didn't try to say what I think might happen. But anyways, guys, that's just going to be a quick review on what I thought of the movie. I thought it was great. Now, in my next video, I actually get to put breakdowns. I get to break down scenes and go into what character development I thought was really well done in this movie. I really felt like Poe's character development was great. But guys, this movie was phenomenal. Go see it right now. And if you can, you see it in 3D because the size and scales are just that much more mind-blowing and you're that much more invested into the movie. It's so hard to get the scale comparison on a 2D plane. So see it in 3D if your minds can handle it, guys. Can't wait to see you guys in the next video where I'm going to do a spoiler breakdown. I get to talk about more the character developments, what I really loved about certain scenes, and we can go over everything. Guys, like, subscribe, help me out. I have a new channel here, and it's not going anywhere without you guys participating and getting involved too with me. See, I have to grow, and the only way I'm going to grow is with your help. So I ask you guys, in the bottom of your heart, to show your kindness and help a brother out, alright? I will see you on the next video. Peace out.